everyone, this is Dr. Meghan Karol. I am a pelvic health physical therapist. Today we're going to be going over some exercises to help you with your day-to-day functional strength and balance to keep you moving healthy and active. The exercises that we're going over today, you really can do pretty much daily. So if you could just incorporate them into your routine, just like you don't forget to brush your teeth every day, do your exercises and you've got something. So I'm going to highly recommend, if you're able to walk daily, even if it's just for 10-15 minutes. Ideally, if you can reach 30 minutes, even if maybe you do 2 15-minute sessions. If you feel like you don't have an area to walk to, you might have to get creative. So maybe your neighborhood doesn't have smooth walking paths. Maybe you just it's too cold out or too warm out or too rainy out or too, I don't even know. Maybe it's a gorgeous day and the leaves are changing and the weather is just right. Kind of whatever you need to, whether you walk out your door, whether you walk up and down your driveway a few times, maybe you just have to walk up and down your hallway a few times to kind of get that. Maybe you go out to your local mall or a store and just go for a walk. Try to move your body daily. It's going to help your cardiovascular health, your strength, balance, mobility, even your gut motility. The more you're moving, it kind of helps things move along. So first and foremost, try to walk or move daily. The rest of these exercises you could just do right in the comfort of your own home, right in your kitchen. I actually even call them the kitchen counter exercises because that's kind of the most convenient place to do them. I'm going to use a chair here today. If you are going to use a chair for sort of that safety stability, make sure it's a nice sturdy chair. You don't want something that if you were to lose your balance, it's just going to tip and come back with you. So use something nice and strong and sturdy. I'm going to challenge you to touch as lightly as possible, not be leaning on your kitchen counter or leaning on your chair. Use your own strength and muscles to hold yourself upright as you're doing these exercises. Starting off simple, I'm just going to go up and down on my toes so my heels are lifting up off the ground, slowly lowering back down, maybe starting off with a set of 10 of those. If that's easy, maybe even 15 or 2 sets of 10, 2 sets of 15. I don't tend to go more than 30 repetitions for an exercise. After that, I would probably make it a little bit more challenging in different ways, which we'll go over in a different video. The next one, I'm just going to turn facing you, but you can certainly keep both hands on the chair or the counter for that safety. But we're just going to march in place. I'm going to lift up one leg at a time, strengthening those hip flexors. I'm going to hold myself nice and strong and sturdy as I do that, nice and tall, working on that good core trunk strength instead of leaning over into it. Next one, I'm going to stay facing you, but again, if you need both hands, use both hands. I'm simply going to lift my leg off to the side. Okay, nice and simple and easy. Again, I'm going to keep myself nice and strong and straight and sturdy. For reference, if I was to lock everything in place, my hip only goes this far. So I don't want you trying to kick as far as you can. You're not going to lean over or hike from your hips. What matters more is all that movement is coming right from the hip. Now, as you're doing these, again, if you're touching really lightly, what you might start to notice is, sure, these muscles here that are lifting this leg are getting tired, but man, this leg that is holding myself up, balancing myself, is working really hard too. So it becomes a balance and a strengthening exercise, sort of 2-for-1 special. The next one is going to be lifting your leg up behind you. Again, if I was to lock everything in place, my hip only goes that far, so you don't have to kick as far as you can. I don't want you leaning forward. I don't want you arching your back. I want you nice and strong and straight and stable through your trunk and your core, and just lifting your leg, focusing on those butt muscles, doing the lift as you go. Next one is you're going to bend your knee like you're going to kick your bottom. Try to keep your thigh and your hip and your knee nice and straight down versus letting it come forward or rocking back. And certainly for all of those, you're going to want to do that on both sides. I tend to like to do all on one side and then all on the other, just so that I can work again on that balanced strength of my standing leg. The next one, sometimes people will include with these standing exercises little mini squats, but in my personal professional practice, what I've noticed is sometimes people only go down a few inches. But if you're trying to get up and down from a chair, on and off a couch, on and off a commode, man, those are a lot further down. So I personally prefer sit to stands. So I'm gonna sit down in a chair. I'm gonna make sure I'm nice and secure in that chair. My feet are stable. And then I'm simply gonna stand up and sit down. Stand up and sit down. Do a set of 10 of those. Man, that's gonna get my heart going, my breath going, and my legs a little bit tired. Now, if this is too challenging, if you really have to push with your hands to lift yourself up, what you can do is grab some pillows, fold up some blankets or towels, place those on the chair. Make sure they're nice and stable. Maybe kind of keep your hands on them as you sit down. And then that's gonna raise me up, and I'm gonna figure out a good height that I'm able to sit up, sit down without relying on my hands to push me. If you wanna make it a little bit more challenging, what you can do is, again, start off with those sit to stands. Make sure you're secure on your chair, you feel comfortable with your leg position, and then just try to tap your bottom on the chair. So a little tap and up, tap and up, touching the chair but not actually fully sitting. And again, that's really going to work that leg strength. Last one is going to be kneeling down. So I'm just going to flip my chair here for a moment. And you're going to go up and down. Almost pretend like you're proposing to someone. Oh, Megan, will you marry me? Just dropping down on that back knee straight down. If you want to stack a couple pillows or a box or something like that, to just touch your knee, come back up, touch your knee, come back up, you can do that. Even if it's only a very slight bit, start where you can, and then gradually as you build that strength, build that mobility, maybe you can go down a little bit further, maybe even getting to the point where you can kneel down on the floor and stand back up, especially when something rolls under the couch. It's so frustrating. If you have to get down on the floor sometimes, you want to be able to get yourself back up. Hope those are helpful for you. Certainly they're going to be a little bit challenging, so use what you need to make it a little bit easier or a little bit more challenging. Maybe you hold on a little bit more, maybe you raise the seat height up, or you can push yourself a little bit more, focusing on that balance with just sort of hovering your hand versus holding on too tight. Hope those are helpful for you.